Hello and welcome to a special episode of the UnCalled Four, What Grinds Our Gears. Allies in Ilya's birthday celebration today. We are definitely going to be trouncing some stupid as well as celebrating Ilya's birthday. And now to the birthday girl.
Hi, thank you so much, Amy. I hope you're well tonight. I know you must be excited because we're getting really close to the autism show with Dick, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Thank you. And I'm doing very well. And I'm so excited and looking forward to that coming up. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do already have a super chat. Do you want to go ahead and get that before we get to the roundtable?
Sure, we can get that right away. It was from Crafty Keela for €2. She said, "Have a great show. Love and respect. Happy birthday, Ilya."
Oh, hey, I hear Matt. I think he wants to read it.
I can't. Crafty Keela for €2 said, "Here's a great show. Love and respect. Happy birthday, Ilya." Ilya.
There you go. Thank you.
Sorry,
And we just got another one, actually.
Oh, okay. Matt, we just got another one. Oops.
He left.
Can you read it?
K-Weeza for 20,000 Korean won said, "Booze money for Ilya."
Good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rasa. I'll make sure to buy a few beers on that. There you go. All righty, so let's see who we have with us tonight. We've got SciStrikeling. How are you, Miss SciStrikeling? What's going on in your world, and what do you have coming up in the next couple of weeks?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks. Just got home from work not too long ago, so I've been busy with that. But otherwise, just working on some new gaming videos. I'm gonna try doing some recorded videos and see how they work out. And still working on my photography tutorial videos, so still quite a bit going on.
I love the tutorial videos. I've been watching what you've put out so far, and they're really, really good. So,
well, awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. And anyone who hasn't subscribe to her and go watch those. They're really, really well put together.
Thank you.
We also have Mommy. What's going on, Glover Mama?
Just the usual. Just getting my Minecraft videos ready and putting them out, and doing some others in between every now and then. So
I don't think I have missed one.
No, I don't think you have either.
Glover Mommy video.
I don't think you have either. No. And then awaiting my next week's my channel birthday celebration next week, so that'll be fun.
Yes, we're so excited for that. Yeah. So yes, next Sunday, tonight is all about trouncing some stupid MGTOW incel bullshit. But next week, it's going to be Glover Mommy's night. It's her anniversary. It's also Mother's Day, so it's very fitting. Right. We're going to celebrate our mommy, and we're going to have a really good time here next week. So come back and watch that as we celebrate Glover Mom. That's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. Mm-hmm.
And we are going to have another special guest join us here momentarily who is a little bit late to the show, but he is going to be joining us. But in the meantime, it's Ally Night, and we have some amazing people with us. As always, we have Bull. Hi, Bull.
Hello, everybody. Happy birthday, Ilya.
How are things going with you? I know you have a lot on your plate, but what are you most excited about that's coming up?
I'm actually most excited about getting with Tattie-Bogle and getting him on vMix so that we can do some extension things to the shows we already have set forth. That is exciting me, having somebody who I work with on a regular basis. So that's going to be fun. And also, I'm also looking forward to, what's coming up tomorrow? Let's see, there's the Pitmonk Show, which is all week long, and of course, Caffeine Corner on Steve McRae's channel.
Oh yeah, I love Caffeine Corner. It's always fun, for sure. We also have our new Punchy and Ilya show coming up, and Bull is producing that. We are very excited to have Bull on board with us for that, so that's going to be a lot of fun, and that launches in 2 weeks as well. So stay tuned for more to come on that. Also, tonight we have Dick Dawson. Dick!
Hello, how's everybody doing out there in YouTube land today? I had a sleepy day. I can't snap out of it. I had this big nap and I didn't even mean to. I was just sitting there, watching a little something on the TV, and I fell asleep so damn fast I don't even know what I was watching. Like, I had no recollection when I woke up. Nothing. It must have happened right away. But I'm all geared up now, so that's cool. It finally kicked in at the right time, and happy birthday.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad you joined us tonight for Ally Night. When I think about the men in the community who really do, stand up for the women in the community and make sure that we're taken care of and we're treated with respect, I think of you for sure. You've always been nothing but very supportive, especially of our show and especially of Aimee and I having creative freedom with the show. And we really appreciate you. So thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you very much. Such nice words. Now let's get the focus back to you. It's your birthday.
Well, you know me. I just, I always got to remind everybody of how wonderful they are too. So, and we also have with us tonight one of my favorite people on the planet, of course, Punchy. Hi, Punchy.
Hi.
How are you?
I thought she was going to say MC Tune there for a second with that intro. Wow.
Well, that's what I thought too.
I love MC Tune. Don't get me wrong. MC Tune has definitely, my heart to a certain extent, but definitely Punchy is my favorite person. So what's going on with you, Punchy? What's coming up for you?
Oh, not much. Just figured I'd say thank you for having me on. Happy birthday, sweetie. I love you. I'm glad your weekend went well. And thank you to everyone else for having me on. However, I don't think you ladies quite knew what we're getting into by having Dick and myself on here, because that while you're talking about the videos, we're just going to watch football on that big screen in the back, just drinking some beers.
That's okay, honey. You just sit there and look pretty. I'll just look at you.
Yeah. And I can't speak for Dick or Boole, but I've already farted and scratched my nuts 16 times and sat in this chair. So,
well, I mean, as soon as I sat down, I just glued my hand to my nuts, and that way it's done, right? That's
there
it.
You go. There.
Where's the Lysol?
We have another special guest joining us tonight, and I think he's asked to get in, Bull.
I'm not
What
seeing
about
that.
Boole?
I'm not seeing that. So
Okay.
not yet.
Okay. Send out the whipping crew.
Well, in the meantime, we do have a super chat, if that's okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Yay.
9 o'clock hero for £1.99 said, "Hope Punchy made your day."
Aw. Very good. Thank you.
Well, what I can tell you for sure is Punchy, the entire Shills crew, amongst some other people mixed in like Cheshire and Roxy and Dutch Heretic and all of those people came together and they collaborated and definitely made a special day for me. That is for sure. So it was a very, very good day amongst the lockdown and the chaos. So yes, I had a great day.
And we were happy to do it for you, Ilya.
For sure.
Yes, it was so much fun.
It was
Very
awesome.
fun.
It was just such a tried day. I mean, a tried. A good day. I was looking at the comment back to me where it says, I tried again. And I just replaced it.
Oh, yeah.
I just tried. Anyway. Okay. So let's get started. What we're going to start with tonight is a letter that I came across. It's a fantastic letter. So, Bull, why don't you pull it up? And then we can read this document together. It's amazing.
Okay. Sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're going to love it. You're going to love this letter. It's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay. So, are you guys ready?
Oh,
I think so.
Oh, wow.
What the? No, no.
Oh dear.
Okay, so this is how the letter reads.
Can I just say about that title? I mean, we don't all get to choose our neighbors, man. I mean, come on.
Right.
Well, and also,
Right.
I like how it says the female anus is too close to the vagina. Well, I'm a guy. My anus is far away enough from my vagina where it's not an issue. It's just the male vaginas that are too close.
So let's read this together here. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, I've been with a few women in my life, and the one thing I've noticed is that the female anus is incredibly close to the vagina. In fact, they're barely an inch apart. Well, I'm really glad you know how to measure really precisely to know how far the anus and the vagina are apart. That's great. The next paragraph is, I'm not sure about other guys, but doesn't this disturb you? It feels like a design flaw in women, actually. Like they're supposed to be so feminine and beautiful, yet this ghastly little oversight is ruining everything.
Oh,
So I didn't know this, Aimee and Mommy and SciStrikeling, but we can choose how close our anus and our vaginas are together.
yeah, how
I didn't
dare
choose
you?
where they went. I didn't
Why
choose
did you
where they
put
were
them so
where they
close
went.
together? Why?
I mean,
I never
you know.
chose where they could go on me. I was never asked for what design I wanted.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
Well, it's funny
Speaking-
because, sorry, go ahead.
Well, speaking of design, I'm not sure this is all that intelligent, so it's not looking good for that camp at the moment.
That's true.
I was going to say, I can't speak for the women on this panel, but like for me personally, when I was born, I was able to choose where my dick went, and it's in between my nipples, so it's so far away.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Those slow
Oh,
dances
Lord.
must have been fun when you were in high school.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so next paragraph. Somehow it feels to me that women should be more aware of this flaw and it should affect their confidence. Whenever I see a so-called beautiful woman walking down the street so carefree, thinking she's all that, I just remember that her anus is only 1 inch away from her pussy and laugh her into oblivion.
Well, I think it's funny, just that he's just, I don't know, just been so hurt by women, or his life just sucks that much that when he sees a woman walking down the street, that's the first thing that pops into his mind, not anything else.
I know. What is it? You know?
I don't know.
That person has issues.
Yeah.
So to put this in grade school terms, ooh, your parts are icky. I don't like girls. Gross.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Basically saying that girls have cooties in a different way.
Exactly.
Okay. So, super chat, yeah.
Yes, please.
Tattie-Bogle for £5 said, number one, all right, troops. What that?
Number 2.
Number 2, good night, troops.
Beer mugs and smiley faces.
Beer mugs and smiley faces.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tattie. We love you.
Tattie.
Hi,
Good night.
Tattie.
Okay, so let's do the next paragraph. Women, please accept that they are too close together. Let it negatively affect your confidence, and so make yourselves more readily available sexually as a result.
What? What? No.
Yeah. In other words, women don't like me, therefore screw all of you and feel
Did
bad
Copeland
about
write
yourself.
I don't know, but it sounds like something he would write, right?
What, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
Make
It
yourself
only gets worse.
make yourself more sexually available by hating yourself because your anus is 1 inch from your vagina. That makes so much sense. Okay, so then we go on to, after all, we're having to sleep with a creature whose anus is only 1 inch from the vagina. You should not make this difficult. It's unappetizing enough as it is. We're doing you a favor.
Oh, this guy sounds like somebody who came up with a brown nose from having a 69 snack and he just got a little too involved and now he's pissed off. Oh,
Jeez.
God.
And how about this? Hey, if you don't like it so much, then go sleep with dudes.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
how are you doing us a favor? Like, seriously, have you seen the toys they have nowadays? I think, if anything, the toys do us the favor.
And this person acts like the woman can do something about it. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
they
the-
chose to be designed that way.
Exactly. Like when you were born, God asked me,
How do you want your body
to vagina to your asshole? And you're like, I don't know, an inch, please.
Just an inch.
Yeah, that was my first thought. I'm sure was the placement of my butt, so that
Yeah.
so I
Seriously.
won't gross this random dude out who's I don't know who he is.
I tell you.
So then we get to the end. Men, do not let women forget this flaw and do not forgive them for it. Remind them of it constantly, lest they get inflated egos and they think they're all that. They're just they're sorry, but it's true.
This person oh my
Holy
God.
Oh, and by the way, you misread the first sentence, Ilya. It's not I've been with a few women. It's I've watched a few videos on Pornhub that happen to have women in them.
Yes.
I think you
What did-
spelled
the only-
Pornhub wrong there.
Yeah.
The only thing this person's ever done that was really close to a woman was, the kind of thing you have to be careful with, like pins, because you might deflate her.
Right.
And I love his precise measurements. What did he do? Parallax and what is the
Yeah,
other one that
Exactly.
they
Not the slide rule and the
Maybe it's
calculator and the-
perspective.
No, you can only measure something with a
Thank
ruler
you.
or a measuring tape. Fluid 101.
Oh my God.
Well, by the sounds of it, his dick isn't big enough to bridge the gap, so, that's something.
Yeah.
Oh,
He must have went to
I
a-
know what, Amy, I know what he did. He used his dick. It's 1 inch long. It was exactly 1 dick length. That's how he knew.
Ah,
I'm sure out there there's some sort of perineum calendar. I think it's called a perineum calculator out there. So you could pop in dimensions and everything.
I saw that letter and thought, oh my gosh, that is perfect for us. We needed to rip it apart, right?
Oh.
So with that said, I picked out some doozy of videos for tonight. So Bull, why don't you tell us what videos we have and then we will select one.
Well, let's see here. We have number 1, gender pay gap dash MGTOW. Ooh, fun times. Number 2, why women fear MGTOW. Number 3, black pill to red pill, dominant trad lockdown framing something blah blah blah. Okay, yeah.
Honestly, I think I want to hear number 2 about why women should fear MGTOW.
There you go.
Afraid of you.
Ladies, they are coming for you. And by coming for you, I mean they're going the exact opposite direction.
So before we start, can we get to a super chat real quick?
Sure. I
For
gotta.
Australian $2 said, "Great advice. Mother's Day dinner should be fun."
Oh, jeez.
I have to account for the stupidity of this idiot anyway, because he doesn't know how to turn his phone sideways to fix shit. So of course it's all distorted.
And he's wearing a Disney hat. Really.
And he wonders why women don't want to sleep with him.
You take your
Does he have
phone
Spider-Man?
and you
Does he have
turn
Spider-Man
it sideways.
tiny ladies on too? Like,
Hey, now don't knock Spider-Man undies.
okay, note to self: get Spider-Man undies.
Alrighty, let's move on and let's watch this stupid.
All right, here we go.
Happy New Year to all that beauty video back on that Space Jam vibe. I am your host, solo missioner voice for the independent man who's choosing to reach success and now thus live his life in the singular. Also a certified SMI and of course a voice and advocate for the acronym MGTOW, and it's universally known as men going their own way. Now, I've been gone, but I'm back today, you feel me, to go and kick this video off. Let's go and talk about the past now. I've been trying to upload some videos on this social media platform just to have my videos taken down. I understand that in this climate that we live in, a man that's venting his strong opinion is somewhat of a threat, and they sum it up as hate speech. Yet, all these female videos that's on this platform distinctively telling women to go use men and do whatever they can do to men is accepted. Or they get a pass.
Jeez.
So I follow a whole lot of different types of YouTubers. I follow some from the makeup community because I really like watching them. I follow some from, other areas. It's not all just this community that I follow and watch. And I have yet to come across a woman telling me that I need to use men for anything.
Right.
I don't know about y'all, but I haven't seen it.
No. Haven't either.
But yet, oh my gosh, my animals are attacking each other. Hang on just a minute.
God. Yeah. Excuse me.
So yeah, I mean, he has no valid point. If he has videos coming down for hate speech, then obviously YouTube found it credible as hate speech in order to take it down.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, am I wrong there?
Nope.
Okay, then.
Well,
You could have took it down. There's a definite reason why. It's not just because they felt like it.
but maybe not, right? SciStrikeling might have something to say on this topic right now.
Okay.
Right? Because we know of
Sorry, I was muted.
Oh, okay, yeah, but your story is very relevant here because I don't in this situation. Obviously, this piece of shit deserved it. I'm positive, right? But let's hear Sci's little story from last night here really quick because it will put some perspective onto this. Oh, I hate that word.
No,
It's not perspective.
it's an okay word as long as it's used correctly.
That's
It's
right.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, just talking about last night, just about getting our live stream taken down while we were streaming, unfortunately, over on SciStrike. Still not really sure what happened, but yeah, it was just cut off, right? Luckily we were at the end anyway, but it was just cut off, completely removed, and damn YouTube just sent me an email saying, hey, it was removed, but we're not going to tell you why.
Yeah, of course not. I tell you why. So you can correct your mistake later on if it's a mistake.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be nice.
But yeah, that sort of thing, unfortunately, I think is more frequent than people would like.
Which shocks me because over on the Shills, we've had some unbelievably rough shows where, and they still get goddamn green lights afterwards once we appeal because everything we do is yellow first, demonetized every time, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely weird. It wasn't anything out of the normal for, movie night. Movie night is a very rough show, of course, but it was nothing out of the ordinary. There wasn't anything extremely vulgar or violent, anything like that.
Right.
So, just to have no explanation kind of sucks, but
Right.
Yeah,
I know it does happen, but it's one of those things that's it does happen, obviously.
Yep.
But usually there's a good reason behind it. It's not, and then there's people like you. It's like, why did I get hello? What did I do wrong?
Right.
Exactly.
There's always those ones like that. Yeah. So who knows?
Still, I have yet to be told by a woman that I follow on YouTube to go out and use men.
No, I never have.
But I was going to say, I
wonder.
wonder.
Say that.
I was going to say, though, I wonder because, with men and women and well, just everyone, you get people that are on the extremes of everything, right? So I'm sure there are women that do think like that and probably have videos just like how guys have their extreme on their side. So I'm wondering if maybe he's kind of like a flat earther, where he's specifically looking for these videos and using that as an excuse to hate all women.
Probably.
Or it's like he's like some people. They see one video and it's like it's like all it takes is one, so everybody's doing it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's how a lot of these guys are. They get butt hurt one time by a woman, and then every woman is wrong.
Well, that's just it, right?
I'm
Read
not
a comment from.
I'm not saying all guys are like that. I'm saying that
these particular guys are like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if
Can
you
I read a
identify.
comment from Hawk Skull?
Yes.
Yes.
It says, I'm often used by women to reach things from high shelves, but I don't feel the need to make a butthurt video about it. Yeah. So I think this guy probably saw one or two videos or that he interpreted maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's everything now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The name-
now it's
and
just
maybe-
everybody.
The name of that fallacy is the 2-cocaine fallacy, buddy. That's what you're guilty of right there. Because guys do it and girls do it.
Yep.
So, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. That has nothing to do with gender. That's just called people being assholes.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's continue on with this bullshit.
But again lies the double standard that we always know. All right, we know this, so we're not surprised. It's just what we see being ushered in with the bush that I see with the feminized man that you see going on. They pump it in your secular music. They do it in the TV shows, and they got it advertised pretty much everywhere you go.
Can I say something here?
That you must be this feminized.
So he said they pump it into your music. Now, when I hear of music, when it talks about genders, the first thing that comes to mind is rap.
Oh, goodness.
What do they talk about in rap music a lot? What do they call? What do a lot of rap artists call women?
Bitches?
It's a gardening implement of some sort.
Yeah, that one too.
Yeah.
So, what music is he listening to? Whereas that, I mean, I've never heard anything like mainstream like that. So again, I think he's kind of going out of his way to look at it if that's the case.
Yeah, I agree.
I completely agree. Oh.
MC Tune.
Oh, MC Tune.
MC Tune is one of my favorite people. All right, where's Matt to read
Matt?
this?
Yeah.
MC Tune for $1.99. Come on, Ilya. I forgot.
It's okay.
We know you're a huge WGTOW subscriber.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
MC Tune knows me well. He knows my secret
That's right.
incognito windows where I follow a bunch of this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and MC Tune also. What I like about MC Tune the most is that he will never admit it, but he lives in what I now call Canada Junior.
Yeah.
Explain that a little more, please.
Okay, so one time I was on a stream and I was talking about the only times that I've been to the States. I was in Minnesota and New Mexico. And so someone, I forget who, in the side chat put, oh, so the only places you've been in the States are Canada Junior and hell. And I was like, yes, Minnesota is Canada Junior.
You're funny.
Geez. That's funny, yeah. Okay, Bull, let's turn this shit back on.
Version of yourself. All right. When we talk about MGTOW and just a man just speaking for himself, we realize that when you go against the grain and you really telling men what it really is to be in certain situations, that comes off as threatening the ecosystem, if you will.
What?
A lot of people getting paid out here for these so-called fictitious unions of man and women. There's no rule book saying that a man must grow up and be with a woman. A man can live his life single and do what he want to do for the rest of his life
You're
and be completely happy.
right, but that doesn't mean you have to.
But that go against the grain, right? And so if we tell a lot of men to do that, and a lot of men discover that, hey, yeah, that's a better option. Matter of fact, I achieved more going my own way than I was in previous relationships. Well, see, that breaks up that ego.
You can't just pop that out. That's a better option. This is something that's going to be very subjective to the individual. And as such, you can't just drop that crap as if it's fact. Fuck you. That's not how it works.
Pretty much fuck that guy.
Yep.
He doesn't even know what he's talking about.
Nope, he doesn't know.
Fucking that hat. How am I supposed to take this dumbass seriously in that hat?
I know.
Exactly.
I know that hat is
hard.
something else.
Oh,
I'm just thinking
the
about
worst.
funny going, what the fuck?
I just keep hearing him doing the voice for Wile E. Coyote.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
Well, like I commented earlier, Shaquille O'Neal's not even on that hat, so it's not a Space Jam hat.
Yeah.
It's a Looney Tunes hat.
Exactly.
I would also like to remind everybody that going your own way or being married are not the only two options.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
true. Yeah, you're right.
There are, let's see here, what is it? Just living together and cohabiting.
Yeah.
Hey, teddy bear love is real, baby.
Some people are just in relationships for the sex. Some are in it for commitment. Some are in it for whatever, whatever their reason is.
Exactly. We
Whatever
always
they
say
can get
there
out
are a
of
bunch
it.
of reasons.
Yeah, there's a bunch of reasons,
Some
Could
are
be the
in
food.
some are in it for universal free health care.
Yeah.
That's
Just
funny.
throwing it out there. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, it's not like there's just two options. There are multiple options in this day and age where you can be polyamorous and have multiple partners, and it's wide open and it's not cheating. There is, still marriage. There's also cohabitation. There's also just being on your own and just having casual relationships. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
Or you could
Right.
be like Validation Boy and just completely be in love with yourself. So,
That's
And
true.
his hand.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. There is a story on the internet.
Sam rejects them.
There is a story on the internet of someone who married themselves. I'm not even lying.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
I heard that one.
geez.
I couldn't
Well,
believe it,
I
yeah.
was gonna
They
say
know.
with Validation Boy, do you think when he looks in a mirror, it gets like that infinitely repeating picture when it shines off the mirror on his forehead, then shines back in the mirror, then back on his forehead, and this kind of goes over again?
that's funny.
That is funny. We got a super chat, by the way. Want to read this for me, Matt?
God's Audidor said for $2 said, "Oh, a dude guy."
Well, and that's just it, right? If you hate
Oops.
so much, that's just guys. Like, I mean, we don't know what you want, man. You gotta. If you don't like them, find something else. Like, there are a lot of things out there. Like, we can't read your mind.
Yeah. I mean,
That's funny.
that's very true. Like, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I kind of think I can read his mind a little because with that tummy tickler on the top of his lip, I'm pretty sure I know where his action lies.
Oh, jeez. Alrighty. Well, this show has just went down the drain. So,
Demonetized.
You knew it was coming.
Of course, it
I'm
always
surprised it took that long.
alrighty, Bull.
Oh, he had to, he's indisposed. We got to stall for him.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt. I wouldn't doubt that I'm responsible for 50% of Shill's demonetizations alone.
Being too kind to
Dick, I'm not
yourself.
surprised.
Probably.
Well, I mean, I couldn't even blame last night on you, Dick. I was so disappointed.
Yeah, no doubt. Right? That's what
Hey,
you'd expect.
but-
You know?
SciStrikeling, don't say that. You can always blame Dick.
That's true. Somehow,
Yeah.
some way, it was Dick's
Yeah.
fault.
That's funny.
No
Oh
doubt.
my gosh.
But got to be who you got to be, right?
That's right.
Yep, and if if something didn't happen with you on screen, Dick,
Black School said Dick often leaves women disappointed.
Oh, geez.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I love the chat.
Yes, you can't help
Oh,
it.
that is awesome. They're amazing.
Oh my gosh. Bull, are you back yet?
I am back. Yes.
Oh my
Alright.
God. Okay, really quick. Quit asking me to sprinkle them chesticles that I like being in a relationship because I fall asleep much easier with a boob in my hand.
That's awesome.
Hey, Quiddies, if you want to fall asleep with a boob in your hand, just look up a flat Earth video on your phone and hold it in your hand and fall asleep with that.
There you go.
Who could fall asleep to Daniel Pratt screaming and yelling at them in
Lord.
close up
That
720?
is true.
Oh god.
Oh, really?
Ugh.
And if you did fall asleep to that, that would just give you nightmares.
Yeah.
And
We got some buffering.
And
Yep, you got
Antonio Subarats would make a good a sleep aid show.
You get your hand all greasy with his hair. Not a good thing.
We're buffering for everybody.
Yeah, we're back now, though.
You guys in chat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, good
Would that
good
be,
icon there.
Would that be daytime
Yeah,
or
isn't that
nighttime, Punchy?
Pardon me? Oh, yeah.
I'm not
We're
saying
back.
it's nothing on my end, so I don't know what's causing the buffering. People refresh. It could just be YouTube being YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
it could just be YouTube is crap.
Yeah, it's good old Alphabet and their shit service. Thanks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
toggling.
Crap.
Nikki Daly says, "Hey, Dick is always the problem, but Dick is always great. Take that how you will."
Well,
Very
here, how
true.
about this? If I may paraphrase The Simpsons here, to Dick,
Uh-huh.
the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
That's awesome.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
All right, Bull, hit play before I have to
Okay,
hear
let's
any
go.
more of the bullshit in this chat.
Go system. All right. See, it can get financial when you look at all these holidays that goes around, catered to the family. Well, if a man never starts a family and he's living on his own, there's no money being pumped into that ecosystem of brainwashing that goes on with these typical families. And yet, those same families are the one that have the most dysfunctional ass homes out there. The wife is cheating, the husband is cheating, they're both miserable, and they got a lot of kids to show for it. And both of them going to end in the early grade, dying way beyond
Yeah.
their years because they got involved in the
Stereotyping
so-called
much?
fictitious union trying to do what society is doing. Let's usher in that MGTOW, right? Right. Of course we do.
Well, what?
And see, with the
when it comes to-
MGTOW, it teaches a man to stand on his own, really. Become the man that you have within. Let that man out. Let the simp go and become the man within.
What was that?
It's not about
He said, "Let that
fake
simp shit
MGTOW
go."
and fake.
Yeah.
So I don't have time for those labels.
Simple, but he said simp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you recognize the simp that you was doing with women, you got a left or right turn here. And when you use the MGTOW logo, you can keep going straight and do the same thing you've been doing, and you're gonna get the same results. Or you can just take that exit and say, you know what, for this year, I'm gonna get off here. It's your choice. But see, when you understand that and you
That's
implement
exactly-
that,
Yeah, pause
oh,
it.
they hate.
Pause it.
So back to when he was speaking about holidays and all that, and how they're geared towards families. It's like, well, no shit. Like, I mean, I'm sure that when holidays first originated, they kind of came from a place, maybe from the Bible or from other certain things. But for the most part, all the big holidays, they're family things. Now, keep in mind, having a family does not mean that you have to be with someone. You don't have to have children. You still have, friends. You have your parents. You have your uncles and your aunts and all that. It doesn't have to be you and your wife and your children. It can be anything it can be just anything that's close to you, and that can be friends. That's what holidays basically are about nowadays. Like,
It could be the Shills.
exactly. It can,
Anybody. Yeah.
exactly. It doesn't have to be, 2 kids and a husband and a wife. Like, that's, like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about, but...
Well,
Just to go back to what Globerman was saying about his use of the word simp, that's a word I actually first heard from another YouTube person that shall not be shall not be named.
Oh, that
But it,
fucking
it
guy.
starts with a U and ends with a you know what.
Ends with cock.
Just say asshole, and asshole, and we're all fine with it, okay?
So simp is it's a guy that puts himself in like a submissive position with women, and doesn't think that the woman brings anything to the table, but that he's still submissive to her, just in hopes of, I think, getting sex is the idea.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's what simp is, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah. I always forget that.
Stupid slang words. It's hard to keep track.
I know.
I always forget that so many MGTOWs and so many incels have like 1,000 words for everything. Like they really put a lot of thought into how stupid they are.
I think
the whole simp thing, we could have wrapped that up quick by just saying, imagine Chris Pratt when he's not acting in a movie, right?
well, yeah, that's
I would say it's colloquially equivalent to cuck.
Yes.
Because cuck is kind of a misnomer anyway, because cuckolding is actually a thing. So, like calling someone a cuck who's not even married is kind of stupid. So I guess they use simp.
yeah, I think so.
I also want to say, for what it's worth, people need to learn to be happy on their own, to find real happiness with someone else. That's the truth. So he's sitting here saying, you know, you're on this road and you choose to get off here, and you should do that before any relationship anyway. You should always choose self-care. There's nothing selfish about self-care, but it doesn't have to be at the expense of a completely different type of person, meaning that MGTOW doesn't have to be at the expense of women. You can build yourself up, use self-care, take care of yourself, learn to love yourself, learn to be happy with who you are, and not shit on women in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that might be too much work for these simpletons. I don't know.
You're right. I think they just have to find somebody to blame for the reason why their life is the way it is.
Yeah.
And,
it's always easier to blame someone else than actually take responsibility or search for answers that make sense, right?
Well, exactly.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, Bull. Hit the play.
It's a threat to the ecosystem there. They trying to pump the feminized version of a man out here.
The
I've seen
ecosystem
cats.
is not holidays.
A man must be more sensitive to women.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
But if you reverse that, women can walk all over a man. Women can not have no respect for a man. See, the double standards is real, man. You look at somebody like Cardi B. She's the most hip-hop sensation at the time of this video's recording, right? All right. She came out and said she did all this stuff to men, robbed men, drugged men, and did all that, right? And yet she's still the most hip-hop, hottest female star at the time of this video's recording now. All right?
And
all right now.
point, Chris Brown,
but if there was a guy came out and did the same thing and said he did the same thing to women, he would have lost everything and would have been charged based on what he said. Especially if you can get some women to come out of the woodwork and corroborate what he was saying. Yeah, he did that to me. Yeah, he did. Face ass. Right? Right. Okay.
Hey, Bull, pause it real
Well,
quick.
women can say whatever they want to say.
Okay. I just want to call out, first of all, Cardi B, her music is, her raps, her lyrics are shock value lyrics. Very similar to how Marilyn Manson was. Marilyn Manson was very much an in-your-face shock value artist. Good music, but he literally did it for shock value. There's no denying that. He's admitted to it. Cardi B is the same when it comes to her lyrics within her raps. But can we talk about how Chris Brown was actually convicted of beating women, but he's still a top R&B artist? So what's your fucking point, you dipshit?
Exactly.
I mean, seriously, what is your point? Like, you know, there's only, so the reason why I don't understand rap, and it's nothing against rap culture, but the only reason I don't understand it personally is because there's only so many times I can hear, hey bitch, hey ho, back that ass up, right? And that's literally all their songs pretty much say. There's only so many times I can hear that. You know why Cardi B is so big right now? Because she has a refreshing take on it. Is it something I listen to? No, not really. It's not my style of music. But she has a different take on it than all of these men in the rap world who do call every woman a bitch and a hoe and tell them to back that ass up, or talking about games and drugs and everything else. She has a different take. That's why she's hot right now. It's something new, it's something different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And let's also not forget that there are some rappers out there that are the worst rappers in the world, and one is in our chat right now named MC2. And you know, he has yet to say whether he likes pineapple on pizza or not. So therefore, I think he's a shitty person just like Cardi B.
Oh, well, we all know that MC Toon likes pineapple on pizza. That's just yeah.
Okay.
And MC Toon won't admit it. He will not admit it, but he loves ketchup chips.
That's funny. Matt has a couple super chats to get to, please.
Okay.
Jenny Morgan for $4.99 said, I got rid of one man in my life, and it made all the difference. Oh boy, what a difference.
I love you, Jenny. That was a great one.
Jenny Purcell for Australian $5 said, they've been ruminating on this for years. That's how they develop these complicated philosophies. Rumination is the symptom of mental health problems.
Very good. Thank you. Yes, and that's true, too.
Very much so. They sit and they marinate in this bullshit in their own little group of people that feed off of one another, and they come up with this nonsense, basically.
Hello, 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 echo chamber.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's it.
Alrighty, Bull. Let's see what else.
Hey, and it's cool. It's comical. It's laughable. Just like the lady that cut the dude penis off. She got her own TV show, writing books.
Oh my
it's cool.
God.
What?
A man go cut something off on a woman, never come back from that. Never.
The fuck?
Again, the double standard now. And so when a man get on here and vent and say the double standard for what they are, oh, he's criticized for that. Oh, that's not right. You're going against the grain. We must stop that. We must ban that because it's going against what the norm is, what the brainwashing is, what the feminized man that they're trying to push out here on all the men that's going their own way, doing their own thing, being a masculine man, displaying masculine energy.
Pause it real quick.
No, they want you to be this feminized version.
So, he's talking about Lorena Bobbitt, I'm assuming. Lorena Bobbitt did go to jail, and she served time. There was one, I'm looking now, there was one documentary done on her and what happened. And then she also did a TV miniseries called Lorena, but it was about her life and was talking about the cycle of abuse and a woman in trouble. Because if anyone remembers, she was mentally and physically abused.
Yes, she was.
And so, and then she's appeared on Good Morning America and some other TV shows. But she only did one, and it was a mini-series documentary about herself. So it's not like she's out here living the good life.
Or like she got a talk show out of it or something.
Right. She did not get any talk show out of it. He's just making shit up. She did a mini-series documentary on her life and what led her to that point.
The context is very important because she didn't just go up to some random guy and say, "Hey, ha ha, I cut your dick off." No, she was basically in codependent relationship a really bad one, and
Yes.
that it came to a head, no pun intended, by her doing that.
And then what he failed to mention is John Bobbitt did a porno movie after the fact.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
After it was reattached. After it was reattached, it functions, and he did porno on it.
Yep.
What the hell was it called? Like Night of the Living Frankenstein penis?
I don't know. But his life also like totally over it.
He also did
Doctor sewed on.
Yeah.
He also did a thing too called "Chopped Off the Man Who Lost His Penis." So
okay. Yeah.
I mean, they both did things like. What does that have to do with today? She went to jail. She paid her price. It's not like she got off scot-free and then started some talk show out there. No. She paid her price. She went through the whole court process. And so she created a documentary to explain her life. Who cares? So many people do that. Literally.
Yeah. And how about this? Let's just say that obviously it wasn't just her, it wasn't just him. They're both just incredibly fucked up, apparently. How about that?
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I just needed to stop that real quick.
Version. So we see that the freedom of speech from a man point of view is being taken. We see these laws being implemented. You got laws in California and all these other states, the Me Too laws that's floating around here. You got these heartbeat bill laws going around here that's telling women that if they get pregnant, they can't get an abortion after 6 weeks. Right? Here's the kicker now. Listen to this kicker now. Now, with that bill, it's telling women you can't get an abortion after 6 weeks of you being pregnant. And women are up in an uproar, right? Where one would say now, if women really valued their body and the life of a child, then what's the problem, right?
Oh, fuck you.
What's the problem now? Besides now, if a woman is raped or incest, I understand that. No woman wants a child that she was raped. I give you that. And you got incest with a father or the brother, whomever sleeping with. I get that. But for the average woman that's out here visiting the Dick Museum, and that's my corn phrase of women that's out here riding different and
Fuck this
and today,
guy.
quote unquote, me.
Fuck that bullshit.
Yeah, seriously. What the fuck?
For the love of God, that was the dumbest thing I've ever just
Yeah,
That Me Too law he's talking about, it's regarding sexual harassment training in California.
Yeah.
And it goes for both sexes, or whatever sex you are, how many sexes there are. It goes for anybody that gets hired. You've got to go through this training.
And that's been in place for a long time.
Yes,
I
it
had to
has.
do training. Yes, back when Matt was an infant and before I had to go through sexual harassment training every year. We had to all be recertified in it. When I worked at the medical billing practice, we went through that all the time. And it was good that we did.
I just want to say this. Incest, all right, you give us that, right? Well, I'm sorry, but when did it become your job to give us anything over our own bodies? When did it become your job to give me permission as to what I fucking decide to do with my own goddamn body, you dipshit?
Yep.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, whatever the reason happens to be where a woman might get pregnant, at the end of the day, the choice is hers as to what she wants to do. Like, it's just...
Yeah. I just think that that's bullshit, and I call bullshit on it. And not just because of that, but also there are medical reasons why, too. And I'm not going to get into those reasons, but I will tell you there are many reasons why a woman would need to have an abortion after 6 weeks. That is a medically induced abortion. And there's, it's just stupid. He's just stupid. Go ahead and tell us some more how we need to not visit the Dick Museum, even though it's none of your goddamn business whose goes in my vagina anyway.
Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I get pissed off. Sorry, his bullshit is pissing me off.
I guess men can visit the taco stand all they want, but women can't visit the Dick Museum as often as they want.
In their minds, yes.
Yeah.
It's nice stuff to take,
Anyway.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, bull.
All right, we'll go
Just
on
like
here.
just like so many, just like so many idiots we cover on the Shills too. Vertical video.
Oh God.
Yes.
It's like, dude,
Like, do you not have a computer screen in front of you, buddy? Is it vertical? No. Do you got a television? Is it vertical? No. What the fuck is the deal, man? Seriously. It's in your hand, right? Just rotate it before you put it down to talk to it. Like, just rotate
and put it down
Just-
somewhere, because if you notice, it's moving a little bit, and he's got that shaky background thing going with it.
yeah, it's
That's getting me
horrible.
annoying.
Hey, Dick.
Yeah.
He's MGTOW. He doesn't know how to rotate.
Oh, that's right.
He would. He'd know how to rotate if I had my way with him.
Okay. Bull, how much longer do we have in this video?
Let me check here. It is. You have another 10 minutes still.
Fuck me.
Oh my, really? And he's just saying
Mhm.
nothing but the same thing.
Okay, we're gonna play a little bit while we're playing this chat. Give us a 1 if you want to gong it and a 2 if you don't. But hit play for now. We'll play a little bit while the chat votes.
All right.
The right one, if they just happen to get pregnant by him because they out there riding the dick, then they can get an abortion after 6 weeks, right? Because they know they out here having a good time. See, this bill takes the good time away, because see, if they get caught up and don't find out that they're pregnant until the 7th week,
Oh, fuck
well, they can't get an abortion. So you got a lot of women making sure they go get the after morning or early morning pill after they have sex.
Morning
Just to
after
make
pill,
sure.
dude, but that's okay.
Not protected sex to keep you from getting HIV and AIDS. No, not that. The after morning pill so you don't get pregnant. But again, these laws are somewhat unconstitutional, so they probably won't get passed anyway, or they have a hard time. But you see women making a big deal about it because it's telling them what to do with their body. But not really. But that's their version of it. Because if a woman was making smart choices anyway,
What?
then she
Oh,
wouldn't
jeez.
worry about this, because she would know who she's sleeping with. And she would take the necessary steps to make sure she don't get pregnant if she don't want kids. I mean, right?
What?
But see, we give
Okay. First of all, this definitely got gonged. But 2, that was just a whole bunch of nonsensical bullshit that he pulled straight out of his fucking ass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
seriously.
Yeah, that he uni rocked like nobody I've ever seen on that one.
Yes.
And the one part too near the end there where he was saying, women have to be responsible and know who they're sleeping with and keep track of it. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Shouldn't guys do the same thing in that case? Just so you know if the baby is there.
I think what he was saying is, and there's, what I think was, if you're going to be sexually active, protect yourself. It goes
Yes.
for both sexes.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't just be up to the woman to protect
Yeah.
themselves. He's
Yes.
putting it on the women only.
Yes. I
Yeah.
completely
So,
agree.
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe I missed a part of it, but
that's the problem.
Yeah, from what I gathered from him, he was just referring to pregnancy, and he's just saying women do
Yes.
this, and just saying that guys they're let off the hook because they're the ones that give birth.
Yes.
That's what I took
what
from
he
it.
was.
Right. That's what I mean. He's
That's
putting
what
everything on
he-
the woman.
He
Yeah.
is saying that. Yep. guys, you guys don't have to do shit. You guys can just slip your dick into any vagina you fucking want to. But
Yep, you don't have to
women,
care who
You have
sleep
to
with.
pay
but
attention
women
to
should care
everything.
who they sleep with and protect themselves.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
dudes, guys, if you don't want kids either, you better protect yourselves too.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah,
it goes both ways.
Oh my
God.
It does.
Yeah.
it does. It really does. But nobody wants to take. Anyway, I'm sick
No.
of him. So,
Yes.
well, what are the name the other 2 videos again? And we'll select the next video.
We got the gender pay gap, MGTOW, and black pill to red pill, dominant trad, lockdown framing, blah 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 blah.
Who wants to do the blah 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 one? Because it just
Blah, blah,
sounds.
Blah 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 sounds very
Just
enticing.
That's
get it
our-
out of the way.
That's our friend. We're very familiar with this idiot, and he's fun.
Yes.
Oh yeah, this must be Copeland. Yeah,
Oh,
you're
God.
welcome.
Okay. Well,
I
you know
love
what? That's fine. What does it do? We have to do gong him. This is the way. Doorbell Owl says.
Oh no, but he gives us so much material. That's
Yes,
the
he
thing.
does.
All right, let's do this dipshit.
Yes, hello listeners and welcome back to Coldplane. So I have been having a bit of a reawakening, which you might even describe as a grey pill, because I see a set of ideas aligning. Because Tinder has been popping off for these last few weeks, because basically women's need for masculine provision has spiked. I got a taste again of what it's like in Kyiv and Minsk, where you can just go on Tinder and it feels normal. You're going to match with some women who look okay. Of course, in Kyiv or Minsk, you can ask them out and they will say yes. That's really all they want from you on Tinder. Just ask them out almost immediately. Russian girls are generally right into this. But the point is, I feel the surge in my sexual value, and it grounds me more in what I'm real about. Yes, part of that is an ego reflex where I just want to grab my unicorn like a kid grabs and snatches the sweets. But I've been slowing up my posts and taking things in, failing to engage with monk mode. And now I've come through with a really hard anti-cohabitation rule for non-unicorn women, but also how dealing with these slightly hotter chicks and pushing my farm maxing and my ruche maxing, which is basically trad maxing for burnt out players. Well, I got heaps more dominant on it. And it started with this Muslim chick.
I'm sorry, could somebody translate what the fuck that guy was just saying?
Yes, unfortunately.
Yes.
He was saying
God.
that he's talking about he's like pushing what he has towards these good-looking unicorns, which unicorns are supposed to be like the perfect woman, and how he has created a new cohabitation rule against anybody that's not a unicorn.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. So basically he's saying, if you're not the perfect woman, you don't get to live with me.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I got news for Copeland. Hey, guess what? We don't want to.
There you go.
The thing is, I think of last time was that why does he have to be good looking? He's only using them for one thing and one thing only anyway.
Right.
What does it matter what they look like? You know?
No
Mhm.
kidding,
But he
right?
has standards. God.
For a unicorn. Let's hear the rest of what he has to say, because he gives us so much good material.
Yes.
In Indonesia, I straight rush maxed and said, you can live on my farm, but I want a nice attitude, I want a slim body, I want no nagging. I told her straight up, and suddenly I realised this dominant frame really works on foreign chicks. But New Zealand is now full of foreign chicks, and often they barely even have family here, and now I'm connected with this Indian chick who is really into me, and I've done the same. Put down this vibe, which is, aside from my farm, is basically taking ownership. There's something going on because now I am explicitly telling these girls, like I said in an earlier video, coming out of lockdown with a new authenticity, remembering how my unicorn was so sweet. But once I got to know her, I found out she hated fat sluts more than I did. And now I'm telling these girls what I already know. I want a wife to check up, but she can't be fat, and I expect sex every day. And I snore, and I don't do the dishes, and I smoke pot also, so deal with it. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not ramming this through hard. I'm still building comfort. I'm still being jokey, fun, playful, understanding. Always think about it like you, of course, are Daddy. Daddy wants to have fun and play and share fun jokes. But Daddy also expects no fatties and lots of blowjobs because Daddy makes the rules and those are the rules. Think about it like when you're younger. When you were younger, you're a teen and you're trying to escalate with a girl so you can bang her, and she's pushing your hand away from her tits and her pussy and trying to keep you from getting into her and teasing you, and you have to play it the same way that the teen girl does. You can have all the goodies, but no, not for fat girls, no, and not for nasty bitches with the smart comments. It's just basic carrot and stick stuff. It's human behavioralism. But what I'm driving at confidence and frame. Got this other...
Okay. Okay, so listen, I don't do the dishes, I smoke pot. And you just have to deal with it. But not you fatties, not you nasty ones.
God.
What the fuck is wrong with him?
You know what's going on? I think in a way. Well, I think in a way we're dealing with a guy who's really emotionally disconnected and doesn't understand his own emotions in any way and can't make heads or tails of them in an adult fashion. And as such, we end up with this mixed bag of bullshit that is his YouTube channel, right?
He is so full of shit. Oh my gosh. Like, I seriously don't understand. He is the one incel we have, or black pill, that I've come across in research that I seriously think, I think he's worse than the person we no longer speak about.
Yes, Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
He's worse than Mr. Clean.
Yes, he's worse than Mr. Clean. And being serious, like, he is worse than that, in my opinion.
No, he's a piece of shit. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, so, I missed a part of the video because I had to order some food, so it would be here on time. But the part that I did hear was that basically saying that you can do the dishes for me because I'm lazy and I smoke pot and I don't give a shit, and you're gonna do everything for me.
To me, that's his immaturity. Especially when he talks about girls that are 18, 19, and anybody that's older, girl that's older is a slut, a whore, and used goods.
Because he was talking about that on the video, last week or 2 weeks ago, where he was talking about that as well?
Yeah. I just think he's, I seriously can't wrap my head around the hatred he has for women. Like, I can't even begin. I think that Mr. Clean is bad, but then I watch this dude and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
10 times worse, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, Bull, go ahead and let's continue.
The nurse from the South Island, other side of the country from me. She's the opposite of my fat girlfriend who has a cute face. This girl is a nurse, and her body is actually pretty good, and she actually scrubs up pretty nice, but it can't be denied she is from Kiribati in Micronesia, and she has got the Jay-Z lips. I straight up told her, like, I smoke dope, even after she said she didn't approve, and later she tried to give me a little bit of sass when I started asking questions about her. She says to me, you clearly have never been to the islands before. She means the Pacific Islands. And so I started saying, what do you mean? Like, I'm taking no shit from her. And she straight up calls me, and later we're camping, and she's got her tits out and starts fingering herself. I can't believe this, the dominant frame combined with the hardcore beta provider throwdown in a virus-type scenario. Well, I say I can't believe how these women respond to my directness and dominance, and suddenly I understand these red pill dynamics, acting girly like a soy boy, like I was. It's like I was raised. It's not good if you want to impress and make a sexual impression on girls and basically get them into you. You're acting like cartoon macho man and demanding answers and giving instructions to her turns her on in the same way her acting like a giggly, shy little sex kitten turns you on. It's playing up to this character. If the man acts giggly and shy, this fucking makes her sick. Just like if a girl starts challenging you with questions and instructions, you're likely to tell her to fuck off unless she's really hot. The hot Thai girl, however, I don't know if I told you about, she's been a little madam.
Okay, pause,
I almost
please.
posted our conversation to my community feed that
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I need a break from that guy. He's terrible. Some of the stuff he's saying is just, oh my God.
God, I know. You need to be
It's
able to keep your
horrible.
mouth shut and do what I tell her to do is what he's saying.
Well, that's
Exactly.
That's exactly
Follow
it.
my orders.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wait a second. I ordered you to do something and you didn't do it. And now you're upset with me. Fuck
You're asking
you.
me a
is what
question.
saying
You're
basically,
sassing me.
like,
How dare you ask me a question? That's
I
sass.
know. Don't you sass me. What the hell? Is he your parent or something?
Yeah. Hey, you
I,
know what? Hey, he's a male. He lives in his parents' basement still. Now, she might be a successful one that does whatever and is good looking, but she better bow to him because he smokes weed all day and just eats nachos and plays video
Oh,
games
no,
in
he
his parents'
owns a
basement.
farm and can throw money at these women.
I'll
Ah.
bet.
Yeah.
I'll
And
bet.
be with them. puts that
while
out
we were
there, no
watching that, I texted my cousin. She works at a zoo, and she said, "Oh, I've got a job offer for this guy. So Copeland, if you're watching, pay attention. Get a hold of me if you're interested." Right? So she works at a zoo, and she will hire you right now on the spot to be a human insemination machine for elephants. So what we'll do is we'll fill your fucking mouth full of elephant sperm and stuff you right up there, and you could just go blah and get the job done. Because that's what your mouth is for.
Oh,
Sounds
and
worse.
if you want some good, if you want some fun later on, we got a tusk we can shove up his bottom side too.
Yes. And we also have a super chat, please.
Schrodinger's cat for $2 said, "Sorry I couldn't join. Happy birthday, Ilya."
Good job. Thank you.
Hey,
Nice.
thanks, Schrodinger, brother. All
All
right.
right. We appreciate it. Thank
Hey,
you.
Schrodinger. Okay.
All right.
So, yeah, is anybody else picturing a guy wearing a pink tutu while he's doing this recording, or is it just me?
Especially with that
Yeah,
voice.
Yeah,
I
he's-
always
he's-
picture
I
that
can-
no matter what I'm hearing, but that could be.
He's wearing a pink tutu with a stained wife beater shirt on, and he's got a fat stomach, and he's sitting in his parents' basement,
Yeah,
you know,
I just-
with Doritos all over his
He looks
face.
like,
I just think of a Buffalo Bill from
oh my God.
Sounds of the Lambs. But I love the censored version. It's not "Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me." It's "Would you have me? I'd have me."
I was thinking Ace Ventura. There's a thing with Ace, GIF with Ace Ventura where he's dancing. He's like in his little,
Yes,
that little
yeah,
floral, what do you call it? Floral, like a Hawaiian shirt, and he's got the tutu and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Is that where they were in the
It's like they're on the lawn.
is it the mental health
I think
facility
it's a
there?
mental health facility.
Yeah,
There's
he's
a
pretending-
there's a GIF out there with it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's good.
Oh, another super chat.
Oh, Matt, we got another super chat, honey. Here we go.
John Rapper Australian $2 said, "Sorry to be late. So no competition from this guy."
Thank you so much.
Everybody give John Rapp the proper
we gotta give
greeting he
The
deserves.
proper greeting. There we go. He's
Yes,
got
say
the proper greeting for
hello.
me.
Thank you so much, John.
And 82 does say yes at the funny farm in the first Ace Ventura. That one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Too
Well,
funny.
let's continue with this nonsense. At least we're in tune-up mode, right?
I might get back down to it. This Thai girl, she's very beautiful, so she's got a bit of an attitude. But once again, I don't care because I understand now, whereas she doesn't. I realise that she's a bit bitchy because she's quite hot, but she doesn't. This is just normal behaviour for her because she's hot, and she's having stress and headaches because she's lost her job in Bangkok and had to go back to her parents out in the back blocks, and she is worried she will lose her flat, and of course she does not know or understand whether she will be able to get her job back at all, when or if at all. So I almost got her to start listing her expenses. But she got herself in a tizzy, and now I realise with hot girls, you've just got to let them be little princesses. I will just bring her back again the next day, and that's what I did. So I take selfies and I send them to these chicks every day. You know, I'm not handsome, but what is it all about? Why is it so important to learn the languages of these chicks you're going after? Well, this only comes under the umbrella of frame. It's about frame. When you have the frame of a motherfucker who goes after what he wants, then without, being able to be stopped, then the chicks love it. But of course these chicks have incredible bullshit detectors. Instinctual. That's why I'm doing okay right now, because I can back up my swagger. Girls can tell if your swagger is fucking full.
Swagger? Is he 10?
I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but even the most rudimentary bullshit detector would figure you out, buddy. Just saying.
In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. And he says he says he's not attractive, which means he probably looks like a Picasso painting. And we just got a super chat, please.
Genre for Australian Tudor said, well, sorry to interrupt, Matt. Carry on. You're not interrupting me.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Talk to NASA Black Site Area 69 and see if we can borrow their bullshit detector, because it would come in handy right about now.
I think so.
Would.
Where's Vishanti? Where's Vishanti?
Yeah, where is she? But the only thing I'm afraid of is that we'd break it. That's the only thing I'd worry about.
You're right. It'd be going off constantly, huh?
Well, with this guy, you would have to have a Spinal Tap inspired one that goes up to 11 for sure, right?
More than that.
Heavy duty, even
More
beyond.
than
Right?
Exactly.
All right, so I just unmuted because I just finally finished driving. Sorry, everybody. I had to go drive to pick up Sean. But,
cool.
man, I tell you, I wasn't quiet the last 10 minutes or so. I'm driving in my car, yelling as loud as I can.
SciStrikeling. Is Sean now like huddled up in the fetal position in the back seat because he saw you just rage in the front of your car?
No, he hasn't left work yet. He's still got about another 10 minutes, but I like to get there a little early. Oh man!
So did someone walk into his work and be like, "Hey, Sean, there's some lady out there yelling at her radio in her car and freaking out."
Oh man! I tell you, this guy is out of his fucking mind. He's just fuck that guy. I mean, talking about how if a woman says anything back to him or asks some questions that she you don't want that kind of woman, and heaven forbid a guy act all sweet and kind and stuff. Oh man, I was yelling up a storm.
Because what he's literally saying.
She's pretty much gave me my favorite side chat. Hey Copeland, the 90s call them, they want their word back. Swagger.
You see AT2s?
Pro tip, if a person actually has swagger game, they don't need to tell people they can back it.
The one before they said he doesn't have swagger, he's confused it with being a wanker.
That's true. So go ahead.
Boomer let us know that his bullshit detector was broken on a Riley video when they tested the Riley video.
But essentially it boils down to fuck that guy.
Basically, yes.
Hashtag fuck that guy in the chat. Come on, let's see it.
That's it.
What were you going to say?
There we go.
Steaming, I love it. Steaming Cup of Reason says he's in a long-term relationship with the Palm twins.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but Palm twins don't count as girlfriends, y'all. Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, let's move on. If everybody's wrapped up with that segment.
Yeah, I guess so.
Go ahead.
Into the rabbit hole we go.
If I can get back to banging a sex in New Zealand while I'm in my 40s, then that is evidence of ascendancy. You can see why I'm getting grey-pilled, crimson-pilled, reawakening to the idea that the game is to be gotten after. Because here at Copeland, we are outsmarting the odds that are against the average man to find some all right pussy to get by on. Enough of my ideas and strategies are playing out. and they can be copied. But I will never do an ebook because that's fucking ridiculous. An ebook only sells you useless information about a system that worked for some other guy. You have to see the aspects I put into play. It's always about the SWOT analysis: strengths, weakness, opportunities, threats. Your strength is your frame, which is backed up by your beta bucks. Your weakness is that you're ugly, possibly short, possibly bald, possibly the wrong race. Your opportunities are geomaxing in the post-virus world, and your threats are ending up sad and alone at 60, a broken man, and you bloody take the rope. The point is, I can't do...
Did he just say Jew mixing? Did I hear that right?
Crap.
I may have missed that. I didn't personally, but I could have missed that.
I think I missed that too.
Can you back it up just a little bit?
Yeah,
Bull?
it's
I
worth
need to hear
listening to
that
again.
again. I need to hear that again.
Because I think I've heard him say something like that before, but I'm not quite sure.
What the hell is Jew mixing? If they're Jews, how you like? What?
Geo mixing. Is that
Oh,
what
Geo! I thought you said Jew mixing. I was like, I don't just do a conspiracy
I'm
theorist.
gonna
I thought you just went anti-Semitism.
I'm
I
gonna
think we need
play.
to play it back just to make sure.
I'm gonna play it at
Yeah.
normal
Yeah.
speed so we can make sure what he said too.
Yeah.
I'll slow it down
Okay.
just
Yeah.
for this.
Useless information about a system that worked for some other guy. You have to see the aspects I put into play. It's always about the SWOT analysis: strengths, weakness, opportunities, threats. Your strength is your frame, which is backed up by your beta bucks. Your weakness is that you're ugly, possibly short, possibly bald, possibly the wrong race. Your opportunities are geomaxing in the post-virus world, and your threats are ending up sad and alone at 60, a broken man, and you...
bloody take the rope. The point is, I can't do this as a whining loser channel anymore. It's almost about strategies to win, but it's a channel for black pill winners. This is not where black pill kids can come and complain about how they're fucking losers and they hate their lives. I don't give a shit about all that. This is a channel where average guy, average looking, average money, you know, who is black pilled and understands the situation, can get some decent pussy if you are willing to formulate one of these fucking insanely elaborate plans the way that I have, that has been tailored and tweaked over so many years into the perfect little system. Now that my money is right, and you can tell from the content in the comments, I'm not really black pill anymore. Some guy actually left a comment saying, get real, you're crimson pill. You are not black pill. And the guy's right, because I'm not talking anymore about how being lower tier means you can't get decent women. I can't be fucked going on about how, oh, it's all unfair for ugly men. That's a bunch of crybaby bullshit. It's fucking unfair for everybody. The fact that I get on a plane to go off after a bit of arse in Belarus and get rejected by a dozen MILFs and Ukrainian Beckies just to get a fucking couple of decent chicks doesn't make my life better than the fucking ugly incel who plays games and jacks off and knows he'll never be with a woman. Or that motherfucker, Gabriel Tosti from Surface Paradise. You know, get some Kiwi slut to come over to his place, because, I mean, the guy looks like a fucking Chad, totally. And then she goes mental and jumps off his balcony and he's facing murder. I mean, who knows what happened, but look at the guy. He is high tier in looks, and he probably has banked hundreds.
Wait, hold on. What? Oh my fucking god, what did we just listen to?
This guy is an absolute piece of work. He has no idea how reality works in any way, shape, or form.
No. Also, by the way, I looked up geomixing and incel to see what the terminology would mean, and it is race mixing.
Well, that's what I
Make
assumed.
That's why I couldn't find it.
Well, when I hear
Oh,
geomixing, I don't know exactly what that is, but I just assume it means, like, you know, mixing the geography of the Earth together. And
And we got a couple super... Oh,
We got three.
Yeah, oh, we did get
wow.
3.
9 o'clock hero for £4.99 said, Matt, when down looks up and left looks right, close your eyes and trust your mom. Never be afraid of asking for help. Question the help you're given.
There we go. Thank you.
Good one.
That is a good one.
Uh-huh. John Rep for Australian $2 said, hang on, please encourage this guy to be nice to the EiE girls with worked out and practiced sob stories. Clean him out, EiE girls. He's deserving. And Res Instance for Australian $5 said, $5 said, excuse me, what the fuck is wrong with video games?
I knew it.
He says with
That's awesome.
Emphasis too.
I knew he was going to do it.
I knew he would too.
That's awesome.
I did too. Well, the funny thing is, he's been able to use it, perfectly since he was little.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So yeah, I don't know what's wrong with this guy, but clearly he is like off his rocker.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I just think he's full of shit.
He is.
And I don't even think that he has a history of being hurt himself. I think he's literally just this insane.
Yep.
So, okay, Bull, let's go on.
Of chicks off Tinder, little sluts like this. And finally you got the crazy Kiwi bitch who just fucking up and jumped off his balcony, killed herself. 3 lives. Who would you rather be? Chad, facing the murder charge? Or me, sitting alone in Minsk in a shitty apartment feeling depressed over some blonde babe I wanted to wife up who wasted me? Or who ghosted me? But, or the fucking incel, wanking his dick, playing games, smoking weed. This is what I'm talking about. This is the channel for the guys who have not given up on the idea there are going to be some kind of satisfying life you can have with women. But by God, we are going to have to fight for it. All I'm interested in is that narrow thread where a guy who doesn't have the full package can still get a shot with a girl who is attractive and won't fuck him over. And that possibility is so narrow. And so the Copeland channel is not for smart men and MGTOWs who know the odds and know that they are shit. To me, the unicorn hunt must be like any other hunting trip. It doesn't matter what you bring home. It's that you go to have a good time with your friends, and you're going after something that you want that excites you. Now, I know nothing about this movie, but the expression, TFW, no GF. I mean, it's been around so long that I know the feeling, and it's a feeling I get whenever great things are happening to me. I think, man, things are going so well. The only thing that could possibly make this better is if I had my unicorn. And I know myself so well now that I know that feeling will never let me go, that there is nothing in the world that isn't made better by a hot chick. Even a hot chick is better when there's also another hot chick. 2 hot chicks are better than 1. I did not make this rule. This is something I've been eager to point out for so long, even when I first clashed with feminists as a teenager.
Oh my God.
This guy is something else.
2 hot chicks are better than 1.
Yeah, he wants to have his cake and eat it too.
I don't think you would know what to do with 2 chicks if they were naked standing in front of you twerking. So,
Oh my God. I just got an image of this. I am picturing Quagmire from Family Guy with where he's always picking up the Asian chicks and stuff.
oh my gosh. He is so delusional. He doesn't understand what works within reality. 2 chicks are better. 2 hot chicks are better than 1. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Serious asked if 7,432 chicks are better than 7,431.
31.
That's funny. And we just got a super chat too, please.
John Ruff for Australian $2 said, "How'd you get that from one? How'd you get that from only one letter, Matt? Thumbs up emoji." I don't know.
It's good.
Can you rap, John Rapp?
Thank you so much.
I like that, Matt. That's a good question. I wonder if he can rap.
That is a good question.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So how much longer do we have in this?
Oh my gosh.
Well, we have 5 minutes 57 seconds left.
Okay.
Fuck.
I know, Dick. We do this every Sunday, Dick.
Shall we?
I mean, listening to this guy is like reading the Mormon Bible sober. It's just horrid.
Okay. Well, let's continue.
I always said, how can you blame men for looking down at your tits when it's not even a conscious decision and you girls all wear low-cut tops? Hot chicks are hot. Teen girls with that insanely perky cleavage sticking out, you're going to want to look at it. These are rules of life as heavy and hard as gravity. And so I don't give a fuck how ugly and short I am. I am going to find a way to get hot chicks. I honestly can't see what else in life you would try to fucking do. Paying $10 to be wanking off over some slutty Stacey online who pretends to be my friend when you're a fat loser is so pathetic, I can't contemplate it. This has got to be a channel for guys who are ready to go down fighting in Eastern Europe, in Southeast Asia, and in South America. Because you know we will have a present under the Christmas tree when here at Copeland we work out which country has been smashed economically, but the virus hasn't been so bad. And Thailand is already looking like the obvious candidate given how it is built on so much tourism and travel there. How has my strategy actually changed? I jack my farm daddy, farm maxing vibe to the fucking roof. You know it's my OnlyFans, where instead of me being the slutty sex kitten jumping around on my bed, I am the bold beta provider, and when I get matches, I sell my farm to them aggressively. Except there is just one catch. You're not getting into my house for anything more than a night or two of sex unless you are, a nice young pretty girl from Belarus. I am selling these fucking Beckies here in New Zealand. They're these local feminist Beckies, or this wave of immigrant Beckies from all corners of the world. You got these Hong Kong chicks.
Okay, so am I the only one that when I hear a man refer to himself as daddy is grossed out by that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit,
That is
yeah.
very grossing.
I do not find that attractive. Like if I'm dating someone or with someone and they say, "Who's your daddy?" I'm like, well, definitely not fucking you. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't find anything attractive in that at all, but he keeps saying farm daddy. I sell my farm daddy and daddy will take care of you. I'm like, what?
Just like he has his sugar babies,
Yeah, and again, I'm not one to judge people that appeals to them. There are some people that appeals to, and that's fine. But it just definitely isn't for everyone, and to announce yourself as such to everyone instead of just the person who you have that interest with that's what makes it weird. If it's just you and whoever you're with, and that's how you want to refer to each other or whatever, that's fine. But when you're calling yourself daddy or anything like that to just a general audience, that's what makes it kind of weird.
Yeah, it's not a kink shame thing. Like what you do behind closed doors with your partner is your business. I would never kink shame anybody if they enjoy that rhetoric. What I'm saying is that that's not how all women view their partners. And to assume as much is disgusting to me.
Mm-hmm.
That remark about teen cleavage and you can't help but look, he's never seen that Seinfeld episode where George bit the one big time for the TV producer's daughter, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to know better. If you want to stare at teenage cleavage, go on the internet. You don't do it in real life, you disgusting little prick.
Exactly.
Also,
You don't
but see, if
public.
when he goes around announcing this stuff, it makes it really easy for the rest of the world to recognize what a piece of shit he is. So that's the positive aspect of this. Is it's a real fucking time saver for everyone. Thank you very much, Copeland.
Good example to show how not to be that, and we know you're a piece of shit. So there you go.
Right, exactly. You're nothing but a pile of shit, and you're disgusting, and you make me sick.
Language.
Says the F bomb.
Says the F word.
After the F with 4 asterisks behind it.
And yes, we got another super chat, please.
John Rap for Australian Tutor. I said, sorry, I hate rap, and definitely can't. Ironic.
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 Thank you so much.
What does he mean?
You can't rap.
Okay, so Bull, go ahead and hit that play button again.
Who whiten their skin and look like little dolls. You got chicks in Thailand, hot ones. They need money now because their economy, the tourism-based economy, is falling the fuck apart. There are always Russian girls because there are more hot girls in Russia than there is beta bucks for all of them. So there are always Russian girls. These girls are all hearing about my fucking wonderful farm. And that I don't want a fat wife, I don't want a mean wife, I don't want a nagging wife, I want a smiling wife who cleans and likes to have a lot of sex. I think I've already said this vibe.
A little sex.
Is the term farm? I pause it because he keeps saying farm. Is the term farm a euphemism for something in the world, or is he actually talking about his place where he lives?
He's actually got a farm, from what he said.
Yeah, he's actually got a farm, and he's and he's using that as a huge selling point to apparently pick up these women to have sex with them, but they're not allowed in his house. Not allowed.
Not that there's anything wrong with people who are in agriculture in general. I have no problems with that, but it's just it's not like if I don't know what to say. Like, why would a woman in Thailand give a crap about your farm in New Zealand? Like, they don't.
I have no idea. I mean, like, to be fair, there are women like me who love animals and love nature that would love to have a farm one day. So he might be running across some of those types of people. And there is farmersonly.com.
Okay. Huh.
That's just, it's just so bizarre. It's just so bizarre.
It is very bizarre, yes. But he thinks for whatever reason that his farm is a selling point.
Yeah.
So he talks about it all the time. This is not the first video I've heard about him in.
Well,
I think it's like I've got property, I've got a house, I've got I've got assets, that kind of deal.
He's got a field of girlfriends. We call them sheep, but
Guy, hey Copeland, what we're talking about here is not what the word husbandry means. Animal husbandry is something completely different.
Yeah, we got a couple super chats.
We did.
Yep.
Resistance for Australian $10 said, "There's nothing wrong with glancing, but what I imagine he is doing is something akin to a Looney Tunes cartoon with the dog whistling, rolling tongue, and eyes popping out of the sockets." And God's auditor for $2 said, "This guy is a human unsolicited dick pic."
Yes.
The perfect description of Copeland. Yes.
Exactly.
That's funny.
Okay, let's continue.
This caveman vibe I'm laying down, I could never imagine this in my 20s at all. I am a natural born soy boy beta, acting out as this dominant daddy, and these chicks, 5s, almost 6s in some cases, are actually taking this. And of course it's all starting to come together in my head, my money from my farm, acting bossy with these chicks. Bossy. Now that's a great word. It doesn't mean being an asshole or being some dickhead, having an attitude, chip on your shoulder, defensive about some fucking bullshit that you're projecting. In fact, think about it. Where does the word bossy come from? It's that one girl at school who is so bossy. She bosses around the other kids. And you can see the vibe, the frame. When you're bossing a girl around, you're not being mean to her. You're not trying to break her down. You are playing with her. And she likes this game where you pretend to be the boss and she does what she's told. When you understand the childish nature of women, that is universal. Men are, of course, childish in their own way too. But we are only interested in the information we need to help us fuck women. It is possible to have a nice conversation with a woman and then later, when she is angry about something, simply ignore what she is saying because it doesn't matter. She is acting out like a child, crying and complaining because she is no longer feeling that last happy feeling that she was feeling before that was making her feel happy. So she's moved on to the next feeling, which turns out to be not a happy feeling. So I am now the boss, and I'm the boss of my farm, which means I don't want the fat girl. I want only nice girls who smile and who make the house nice and who like to have sex. Whether they are feminist greenies or career girl Beckies or Muslim immigrant chicks all working away to pay all the taxes, my job is to sell them this idea without offending them because it is the same idea. I just give it a different spin. And the fact is, none of these women are getting into my house. They just have this idea of me as this guy doing this thing. I am leaving for Belarus every year, and these bitches can't stop me. If they go off with some other guy, then what the fuck do I care? Or the better when I tell them, I don't see them as serious long-term anymore. I will say whatever I have to say to keep these women out of my house so I can bring the Belarus girl back, because that's the only thing I'm interested in. Anyway, I have a lot more content coming, which means I might be repeating myself a lot because I am trying to break in some new ideas about trad, about the whole Rushmaxing vibe of going full trad after this life of being red-pilled PUA and pussy begging your way around, clowning around to try and get this pussy. So we will continue our in-depth discussion on our tour of Tradland, as always, on our way to Copeland.
Jesus Christ.
I feel like I was starting to get rid of my migraine.
Oh,
And we watched
that
it.
happened. Uh-huh.
And
And
then
then Copeland happened.
okay, so seriously, he is the biggest piece of shit that I've ever listened to.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, seriously, he is worse than Mr. Clean.
That's saying a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I'm gathering is that he can cheat with the Belarus woman because that's ultimately what he wants.
Yep.
Even though he's willing just to have, and women, we're not allowed to have feelings. We just have to smile and clean and keep our mouths shut.
Yep.
Whoa. Women who are listening right now, you're not only not allowed to have feelings, you're not allowed to have freedoms or rights or anything. Just go make him a sandwich, let him smoke his weed, let him play Xbox in his underwear. You go make the money and do all that for him. That's apparently in his
And when
mind.
he
That's
says,
all
bend
that
over,
matters.
honey, I want to poke you, you bend over, let him poke you.
Damn right. You don't question it because, I can guarantee you this guy is in looks, he's a solid 10. Guaranteed.
Right.
He deserves all that. He's definitely not some guy that is, fucking pot belly and a mustard stained wife beater on and, just is basically unemployable. He's definitely not a complete ugly fucking loser. That's definitely not it whatsoever. You should be lucky that he just even values you as a human being.
That's right.
That's what I take from it.
Oh my god. I mean, he's the gift that keeps on giving, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, like when I'm searching for videos for our show and doing research, if I go to Copeland, every single week there's a new video. And it gets worse, and it gets worse, and it gets worse, and it gets worse.
But it's always the same type of video. It's always he says the same thing, but he phrases it differently, in most cases. But it's the same stuff in the videos.
Yes.
Nothing new.
Okay. Yep. Exactly.
This guy could be an easy flirter, no problem.
Yeah.
He might be. We don't know.
Actually, I think I have a prediction. He's not because he believes in gravity.
Oh, true.
Oh, yeah, that's true, huh? Okay, he's an anti-glober. How about that?
There we go.
That better?
He's anti-woman.
He's anti-woman,
right?
Yeah, anti-woman, that's for sure.
Yeah, this guy just needs some therapy, I think.
He needs something.
How long is the other video we have for? Because I don't know that we'll have time to get through it unless we.
It is 13 minutes 48 seconds long.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I guess if we speed it up, we might be able to get through it.
Yeah.
I'll leave it on Chipmunk then. We'll start it on Chipmunk.
I get the feeling it's something we've watched before anyway, so
Yeah, it could be.
It is someone we watched before, yeah.
But I meant the topic. Yeah.
Oh, have we watched that one before?
Well, remember they had one, I think they had a MGTOW, the pay gap and all that. We've watched a couple of them, feminism or something anyway, with the wage gap and stuff in there. That's what I was getting at.
I don't think we've seen this one, but...
No. I didn't mean this one, but I should have said the topic.
Yeah.
We've covered the topic before.
Yeah, we've covered this dude before, too.
Okay.
He can't spell. Okay, well, let's go.
The problem is that although women are more likely to work part-time, they don't really have access to other types of flexible working arrangements. Despite popular belief, women in workplaces where women outnumber men.
Do we have
in this video, I'm going to give you 2 clips in relation to the gender pay gap that you do not want to miss, and I'll give you 3 reasons why. Number 1 is the second one is awesome and hilarious. Number 2 is there are a lot of really important takeaways as far as how women are operating and thinking globally that is affecting you as a man right now. And number 3 is it's going to give you a concept to predict where things are headed in the future. So if you like this type of content, please hit that subscription button and the notification bell. You get more just like it, and let's get going.
This dude has no fucking clue what normalization of audio means.
Okay guys, so this first video I'm going to show you, even though it was launched in October 2014, is important because it was viewed 30 million times on Facebook alone, not counting YouTube, Twitter, the thousands of blogs that picked it up, so tens and tens of millions of women saw this video, so it had a pretty significant social impact. We're talking about the pay gap and all that stuff. So anyways, take a look and we'll jump in the next part of the video.
Pay inequality! Women are paid 23% less than men for the exact same fucking work, and women
What the fuck is that?
get paid as much as men who only got C's, so bad grades equal more.
So, a bunch of fucking beauty queen women, feminists, had their daughters do a
Pay
commercial.
gap section, which is the most important part of that video, with their citing that 23% study, which is the median total of all men and women without taking into consideration hours worked, specialization, or experience. And when you do those things, the numbers are reduced to about 98 cents to $1, with a lot of studies indicating that women actually have all kinds of unfair advantages over men. So with that being said, it took us years and years. Women were intentionally manipulating us. They were burying the truth. They did not care that it was incompetent and intentionally biased. We saw that in the United States. You saw that with all your Facebook friends and all your female friends. And that is important and relevant to this video I'm about to show you, which you guys really should take the time to watch because it's one of the best feminist rec videos on YouTube. So anyways, take a look, come to your own conclusions, and then we'll talk about the takeaways.
On another issue, what is the gender workplace hours gap? The agency reports a workplace gender pay gap comparing male full-time employees and female full-time employees, but male full-time employees work longer hours on average than female full-time employees. And the agency doesn't account for this when reporting the workplace gender pay gap.
Using ABS data on employee earnings and hours, the gender pay gap as at May 2016 was 15.7%. It is a survey of employees, that information from the ABS. It's not a census. And it's only conducted every 2 years. They only collect the data every 2 years. What we do is we annualise our figure to full-time. So we look at all part-time employees and full-time employees that may have worked part of a 12-month period, and we annualise that data to take into account part-time hours. So therefore we're converting the part-time hours to full-time, if you like.
So do you take into account the fact that on average a male full-time employee works longer hours than a female full-time employee?
Oh, fuck you.
Not directly, no.
You don't?
But we annualise the part-time hours and those that have worked full-time but for part of the year. So that way, because at the moment, what I can tell you is women work part-time at 3 times the rate of men. So by annualising it, we are looking at a more realistic...
So you base it on annual salary?
Yeah.
What about if you did it on an hourly rate? What would be the gender hourly pay gap?
Well, we don't have that data, Senator.
You don't have that data?
No, because we ask for annualised salaries from our employers when they report their data in.
Okay, so if a woman was working fewer hours but earning the same rate per hour as a man doing the same job, would that show up as a gender pay gap?
No.
But well, then in that case, you are looking at hourly rates.
Jenny Booth, Research and Analytics Executive Manager. So we do not collect the real hours that an employee might have worked. So what we do collect.
He is so gaslighting her.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Big time.
Like, she's thoroughly explaining the study and the survey that was done, and he is completely gaslighting her.
Yeah, exactly.
And men don't, I mean, I know I work a ton of hours. Some weeks I'm working easily 60 hours and I'm not done till after 7 p.m. my time. So what does, I don't see a correlation does not equal causation. So
right.
Just because there may be a correlation that men work longer hours dependent on the field of work that they are in, it doesn't mean that women don't work the same.
Well, and the thing is that in itself is stupid reasoning because, like you just said, when it gets busy, she can work up to, let's say, 60 hours a week. Now, keep in mind, like, I don't know exactly how she gets paid in every aspect, but she's on salary, so if she works those extra hours, she's not getting paid for those extra hours.
No.
Now, like, for
me...
Well, that's what
I
I'm
work
curious.
hourly.
Are they taking salaried people that make salary, or people that make salary and hourly?
And
you know what I mean?
that's what I was going to say is because I know with I was gonna say for me, like, I do work hourly, so there are those times, like right now it's kind of slow for me because of my job. But in summer it does get busy where I can work 60 to 70 hours a week too. But the difference is I'm getting paid for that extra work. So I think it's a really stupid argument to make because there's so many factors that go into it, and just to say that that they just work less and that's why, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like,
Yeah.
Me too. Well, and not just that, but there is a pay gap. Like it or not, there's a pay gap. Period.
Yeah, of course there is. And to say that women work less hours is a load of shit, because when I worked, even after I had Matthew, when I was still doing the medical billing before Mom got sick, I was working from 8 o'clock in the morning till 8:30 at night some nights, especially at the end of the month for the accounting and stuff. We worked our butts off and we were all there. It wasn't just the men staying. It was me too, and missing out on my baby when he was little.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a load of crap, but it's like,
Yeah.
geez.
We'll speed it up a bit more so we can try to get through this video, because we're about 10 minutes out to close time and we're going to have to wrap it up. But let's see what else he has to say or whatever. Damn.
It's the hours that are specified in the contract, and that is provided by organisations to us. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But, do you annualise it on the assumption that men and women are working the same number of hours, or is it actual earnings?
It's actual earnings, and we are unable to. We don't have the data to distinguish or to then adjust for hours, because we cannot collect the real hours that employees are worked.
So it's not possible to tell whether any or some of the gender pay gap is just simply attributable to a different number of hours worked. Is that right?
It depends on whether we're looking at hours that are in contract, or whether we're looking at hours that employees worked as overtime.
Why is it you don't look at hours worked? You don't collect it, but the ABS does. It's available.
The ABS does a survey, yes, every 2 years, yes. But again, as I say, we collect census data, that is survey data. And the other thing I would say at this stage, Senator, is just because somebody might be sitting at their desk for 12 hours a day doesn't mean you're getting 12 hours of productivity out of them, and doesn't mean that they're working in essence any harder than someone that may sit at their desk for 8 hours. So I don't think
that's true, but they're getting paid for the 12 where they're doing any work, or they're getting paid for however many hours they're sitting at their desk. And the issue for your agency is that if it's a male sitting at a desk, they're getting paid more than a female sitting at a desk. So the question is whether, irrespective of the hours, the question is whether for those hours for which they're getting paid, is there a difference between men and women? So
we don't collect information on our Senator.
The ABS does, so it's available. So if we put in a question on notice, will you access the ABS data and so you can answer that question?
Well, I did answer it earlier. I said that the ABS employee and earnings and hours data, as at May 2016, the gender pay gap was 15.7%.
If I understood you correctly, it's referring to annualised salary, is that right?
No.
What's the gap based on? Per hourly rates, or annual incomes, or annualised incomes, or what are we talking about here?
He wasn't paying anymore. He's just gaslighting.
Okay. The EEH data, so that's the employee earnings and hours data, includes all employees regardless of employment status and reflects ordinary time cash earnings. The EEH survey produces hourly earnings for non-managers and can be used to produce a gender pay gap measure inclusive or exclusive of part-time employees. The EEH data can also be configured in a variety of other ways that are useful to the gender pay gap estimates, e.g. managerial versus non-managerial employees. The big drawback from where we sit is that EEH data was identified as being is just done on a 2-year cycle.
I don't think I can think of many men who would find it acceptable that a woman, irrespective of how many hours she's working in the day, if she's doing the same amount of work as a man, or the same job as a man, was paid any less on the basis that she's a woman. I can't think of any men who would support that. And yet, because you're not looking at hours, we don't know whether that's occurring or not. Am I right there?
Senator, I think at this stage, as I've said to you, we are unable to collect and analyse that data. There are other countries, of course, that do that, and we will...
Not even every 2 years with the ABS survey data? You could do it, at least every 2 years.
And I gave you the figure, of 15.7% based on the calculation that we last did.
What's the 15.7 reflect?
So what I was about to say, Senator, is I'm happy to take that question on notice and go back and look at that last calculation that we did and provide you with the workings on that.
Okay, guys, so I've got 3 key takeaways for you on this one. Number 1 is this is interesting because we are seeing the exact same behavior play out in multiple nations. We saw it in the US, we see it in Europe, and this one's in Australia. In this case, a government agency that's funded $4 million per year to come up with these corrupt bias studies, right? And this is important because what that indicates is there's an issue of female biology and psychology going on that create these very consistent behaviors worldwide. And number 2 is the fact that she showed no moral or ethical dilemma whatsoever when she was called out that this was clearly a biased, corrupt study, and instead, what she did was she tried to get socially combative with the guy. I thought that was really interesting. I can't really come up with a theory for why women are so cool with this, other than the fact they're biologically programmed to manipulate men in order to extract resources from them. That's the natural condition between men and women in nature. So I guess a potential theory could be that it's natural being favored for them, so it's natural for them to have no remorse over it, or no moral or ethical dilemma that you as a man would feel in a similar situation. And number 3 is the implications when we're talking about the trajectory of Western civilization. So we see a trend that women become more aligned with these highly feminist agendas when they become single. They're not in committed relationships or marriages. So this video, I hope, provides you a little bit of basis for you guys' predictions as far as what you think is going to happen in the next 10 or 20 years. And I also love hearing those in the comments. If you like the video, hit that.
Oh, okay, thank God it's almost over. It's over. He said that she was being combative when talking to that guy. She was trying to get her point across, and he kept throwing crap at her. You know, I don't know how else to put this. Throwing stuff at her to flip her around. You know, you could tell she was getting exasperated by him.
Exactly.
But yet she was combative.
No.
Well, I think part of the issue is that at the beginning part of watching that interview with the senator, I felt like I heard some gaslighting in that portion. As the conversation went on, as we watched the second portion, I saw less gaslighting, but more of him trying to identify more around the studies themselves to get to the root of the problem. However, we move into this guy's synopsis of that conversation, and he misses. I mean, he just totally missed the entire point. He wants to go into women being combative and women being feminists and how this is what's causing this and this and this. No.
He goes into her behavior, and you're right, and this is the entire concept of it.
So I think that this guy right here, his channel is Mission, is a channel that I want to do some more research in and look at some of his other videos, because he has some clear big towel videos. But considering the time, I think that we're going to gong this one for tonight and do a quick wrap up on what we've seen and what we've talked about, and call it a night. So let's just go ahead and do the round table. So, gentlemen who joined us tonight, Punchy, Dick, thank you for joining us. Really appreciated having you on.
Thank you for having us on.
What are your final thoughts on everything we've seen tonight?
Very, well, as per usual, I should say, very ridiculous.
Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous. You're correct. Dick, do you have any final thoughts?
Well, the comment I made earlier about Copeland being the insemination machine for the elephants, I have to take that back. I have to take that back because she got in touch, and it's actually the rhinoceroses that need the help. So, Copeland, that's where we'll be sticking you, buddy. Right up the fucking chute.
I got you.
I got a soft opinion on it. What can I say, right? But and that opening letter that was read, wow, that was funny. That was unbelievable. And like I said, man, you can't pick your neighbors. You just never know who you're hooked up beside. Like, I mean, I got a townhouse, right? So I can't choose who's beside me, right? It could be the anus from within, or I can't even keep going. Fuck me, that was hilarious.
Yes.
There's a
Ilya, happy birthday. Oh, Ilya, happy birthday. Hope it was real fun. And wow, that's some stupid picking magic there with those fucking idiots.
Ding. Ding. I was just gonna say, Dick, in addition, there's a more generalized joke. It's about intelligent design related to this very phenomenon. Why would God put a waste extraction plant next to a fucking amusement park? That's everybody. Lottie Dottie, everybody.
And not only that, but if God made men and women and he designed them to be attracted to one another, for procreation and whatnot, why would he do that when according to him, every man should find that disgusting?
Good call.
Alrighty, cool. Do you have final thoughts?
Other than I find these MGTOW incel, I find the whole topic disgusting because, feminism, when it happened, like suffrage and so on and so forth through the 70s, it brought a lot of equality to women. But it seems like for every political move, whether it's a positive or a negative political move, there's always a backlash. And I think that this is kind of a little bit of that backlash from that. Like, men are seeing how things were. The MAGA was a horrible slogan because when people hear that MAGA slogan, they think the 50s when men went out to work, came home, dinner was on the table, they had their 2.4 kids. That goes back to that nuclear family from the first one. So, guys...
I don't think it was a bad slogan. I just think it was people interpret it. You're right. People interpret it the way they interpret it.
People interpret it the way they interpret it. And it's when was America great? What time are you actually referring to, Trump? Because when you say make America great compared to what it is now, what's wrong with it? Be specific. And he never was. So it's just, it is what it is. But I think that people, as a rule, and men who are in this movement specifically, need to grow the fuck up. We're beyond these petty squabbles, and we need to get on with getting to Star Trek land because that's where we should be.
Yep.
All right. Glober Mom, SciStrikeling, what are your final thoughts?
Don't know if I think I said all my thoughts already. It's I never knew these, I never knew until doing this that these idiots like this existed.
Either.
It's very eye-opening.
I never even heard the phrase or expression or word, whatever you want to call it. I never even heard of MGTOWs or incels until 2 or 3 months ago. And I was like, really?
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just, my main thing with all this stuff, I missed the last video a little bit because I picked up Sean and we had to go grab something to eat and stuff real quick. But it's all the same bullshit. They all spew it, the same, just different words. But yeah, I mean, that's just not how society works. And for people to actually think that that's how things should be run is just, it's disgusting. And yeah, pretty much fuck that guy to everybody.
Agreed.
Alrighty, well, Aimee.
Oh, yeah. These guys will use anything and everything to just bash women. That's all these types of people are. Thankfully, they are not a very large percent of the population. So that's one thing that I am very grateful for.
Yes, thank God.
Yes, because I don't think most people think this way now, and that's good. And I also wanted to say, I hope you had a wonderful birthday, Ilya, and we definitely hope that there are many, many more. So happy birthday.
And can I add on to that, Punchy, you better do that fucking job right tonight, buddy.
Oh, it'll happen. It will happen. Okay, it's Sunday, so obviously we're going to read the Bible first. But then after that, all heck is going to break loose.
Boom, baby, yeah.
Well, my final thoughts are, first of all, the letter was ridiculously funny and sad. And it was definitely, worth the wait, right? Or worth the readout. And then the second video that we gonged off, he's just stupid. The third video, Copeland, oh my gosh, he's the gift that keeps on giving. Bullshit upon bullshit upon bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
The last video we watched, so I do think there is something to be said. AT2 Productions has brought out some really good points in the side chat that I'm going to do some more research on. So thank you, AT2. I appreciate that insight and that information. I'm going to do some more research on that. regardless of what I find when I do some additional research, I will tell you that last guy completely missed the point. He definitely has a boner and gets off to women failing. So, what?
I was gonna say you have to finish that sentence. You can't let it hang. Like, he definitely has a boner. Then just gonna stop there for a second.
I was finishing my thought.
That's the only word Punchy picked
Are
up
you
on.
mansplaining? Are you mansplaining, Punchy?
I am immature.
Yeah, but he's got a point because he's got a boner for everything that walks and talks that has never gotten him off.
Right.
Fucking moron.
I mean, we've watched Missions videos before. He definitely has a MGTOW incel mind.